what's going on? Tonight I wanted to discuss a topic with you guys before I got turned in tonight. Um, so there is something I really been wanting to talk about, get you guys' thoughts on this. We all will learn from our experiences. We continue to learn by just, seeing other people's stories, going through our own different journeys, and it's something that I feel like is not talked about enough. I know from personal experience, it's not talked about enough. And I just wanted to, I guess, share some knowledge, do some encouraging and open up people's eyes to a lot of things because I don't understand why people continue to bring children into poverty. I don't get it. There's nothing logical about bringing children into poverty. Now, a lot of times I know we don't even think about it like that, right? We don't even look at it like that. A lot of times, and it is so funny because I remember when I was talking to this nurse at the doctor's office when I was pregnant with my daughter. I only have one. So when I was talking to them about, my baby, and I was just like, I got pregnant, unexpectedly. I'm not perfect, so I don't ever want anybody to feel like I'm judging them or anything like that. But I do, want to try my best to, teach people and guide them from, experiences that I've endured, mistakes I've made and other, experiences and mistakes that I've seen other people make as well. Because the more we educate and, guide each other, the better that we can become, as people, and the more whole that we can be. Because I think, and I know, so many of us are so broken and lost and confused out here. We need guidance. We need, strength. We need patience. We need this, and so we need to make sure that we're doing our best to strengthen and help each other. So, okay, I really want to understand, why are we steady bringing children into poverty? We have to stop doing it. It's just a must. We have to stop doing it. And you may wonder, well, how can we do this? How can we stop? How can we stop this? Now, is it going to be something that's going to be 100% changed? Maybe not. Probably not. But if we do what is necessary to, make sure we avoid, people being, bringing children into poverty, if we take the time to stop and think, you know, this will change and help a lot of different people. So you may think, okay, well, what can we do? What do you suggest? Or, how do I really know that I'm bringing a child into a poverty stricken situation? This is the thing. A lot of times when we have children, right, we're excited. We're excited about this new life. We're excited about this person. We're excited about, is this going to be a girl? Is this going to be a boy? Who is this person going to be? And, especially you already have children, you also know children bring you a different kind of joy. They bring you a different kind of happiness, that you would need on some of your most darkest days. This is the thing. We have to realize that a lot, some of us came from environments, home, family environments that we were not happy with. Some of us went to schools that we either were not happy with, but or you didn't realize that you really could have had something way better. I mean, we're just being honest here. I've gone to some good schools. I've gone to a terrible school, and I feel that when you bring children to this world, most of us have this notion that we want more for our children than what we have. We want them to have better situations than what we have. We want to be better parents to our children than what we have. But I need you to understand something. It's fine to have that thought process. That's great. But so many of us have that thought process, but we don't really have the plan, the initiative to actually make it a reality. We can say it and that sound good and that's all fine then, and we can think it all day and be like, yeah, this is what I want. But what are you doing to ensuring that you do this? Prime example, stop bringing children into poverty. Stop doing it. You're not doing anything but making it harder on you, and you're making it harder for you to be able to have this child in the type of environment that you would want this child in. This is the thing, especially with my people. This is the thing. Do you know you don't have to struggle? You don't have to struggle. That I think so many of us really feel like in order for you to have nice things, in order for you to have to live a nice life, a comfortable life, not even nice. In order for you to just have something of your own, you have to struggle to get it. No, you don't. You do not. You don't have to make your children struggle in order for them to have something good. Now, am I saying they don't need to work hard for it? No, I'm not saying it at all. But what I'm saying is prime example. You know how a lot of parents feel that, well, when my child turn 18, they gotta go. They gotta get out of here. They grown now. They can live on their own. Why are we doing that? Because your parent did it to you. So that means because they did it to me, when I turn 18, my child gotta go too. Do you know so many people are 18 and still making so many mistakes, which is normal. You're 18, you're not even old enough to drink. You're 18, you're fresh out of high school. You have no clue, about what is really going on out here in this world. You don't. Like, you're not even thinking about that. All you thinking about is partying, have fun. Oh, I'm 18. I ain't even got to do what my mama say no more. You're not thinking about setting yourself up for success. You're not thinking about what avenues am I really going to take to get here. It's not a lot of people doing it. Truth be told, as parents, y'all gotta stop putting y'all kids out at 18. Y'all gotta stop doing it. Y'all not doing anything but prolonging them to become the person that they really need to be. Y'all are, and then when they get 18, they're not focused on what they need to be focusing on, thus them having kids at 18, 19, 20 years old. Your child out here working some job, making $9 an hour, they got 3 kids. That's not cool at all. It's not. They're bringing kids into poverty. I just it's so crazy. It is it's so crazy seeing this. But a lot of times, and I'm gonna hurt some people when I say this, but the truth needs to be said. It needs to be said because if we don't talk about it, it can't be changed or rectified. A lot of y'all are also, and when I say y'all, I'm going back to the parents, right? A lot of y'all are in this same cycle of where you have gotten content. You're content with your job that you've been working for, 10 to 30 years. You're working some job making $12 an hour, $15 an hour. You're content with it. And that's fine. I'm not knocking it. But what I want you to understand is if you're working this type of job, you have this grown child, and more than likely you have either 1 to 5 to 6 kids. If you're working this type of job, these kids are gonna go out here and have grandchildren as well. Now, if you're making anywhere between $12 to $15 an hour, it ain't no way that you had this child set up for full on success. It just didn't. We just being honest here. Now, if you have more than one income, if you have more, if you have a significant other that has some type of income, then okay, y'all can do a little something, but it's not gonna be a lot, especially when you have a lot of those kids. And when I say set them up for success, I'm talking about setting them up with retirement accounts, investment accounts, saving accounts that have money, making sure that they're going to school or getting some type of trade or certificate. And truth be told, they really don't have to go to nobody's school to be successful. Y'all know I talked about that in a different video, but you don't have to go to nobody's school to be successful. Now, we're not making sure, and which we need to start doing, that when we get these kids on up, and they shouldn't have to leave the house at 18. I really feel like you do not. The only thing these kids gonna be going out here doing at 18 is partying, doing the other stuff and drugs, and they're just gonna be doing everything that they have no business doing. They need direction, they need guidance, they need patience. They need time to, sit up here and see exactly what the world has to offer them, figure out what path can I take. If you sitting up here and you got 4 or 5 kids, you working a job and you making $14 an hour, there is no reason why you should be out here making more children. It's just not. It's not. If you cannot afford to feed these children healthy food, and eating healthy is expensive. It is. It's expensive. If you eating McDonald's and Burger King every day, and you got 5, 6 kids to feed, and you making $10 an hour, you need to start bringing these children into poverty. You need to do it not only for them children, but for yourself as well. What kind of life can you have? What kind? What kind of life can you have when you're making below the really the $20? Because we living in a high world now. So if you're making under $20 an hour, you don't need to be bringing multiple kids into your situation. You just don't. You don't. You do not need to be doing it, especially when it's just you. Now, if you have someone else in the household, which I'm just gonna be honest, and this is just how I've always looked at it, even when you're in a relationship, right? Whether it's somebody long term or short term, even when you're in a relationship, you still have to make sure that you have money put to the side. You have to make sure that you have resources, some good things to fall back on, a good job, you have you a car, and we're not gonna even get into y'all that be having all these kids out here and not having a car. But you need to make sure you have a car, a good job, a good career, a business, something going for yourself to where if this person was to walk out on me tomorrow or something of the sort, if this person was not here, I am still able to hold my own and we're gonna be fine. you know and it's not to talk about anybody that's been in the struggle. I've been there, I've done it, I know all about it. So that's why I'm also here to say it's not a wise idea to constantly bring children into the situation because you're not able to provide them with the best environment. And of course, your job as a parent is to feed, clothe, and shelter them, right? But why not provide them with good healthy food that's gonna keep them healthy on the inside for a long time, that's providing them good energy, brain food, food that's gonna stimulate their mind. If you're sitting up here eating cheeseburgers, pizza, ramen noodles every day, you're not doing nothing but slowing down your metabolism. You're eating all these cancer causing foods and other foods, these foods that cause other illnesses. You're slowing down your brain function. You don't realize the food you really put in your body is detrimental. It really is. Take the time to do some research on eating healthy and you'll be very surprised by things that you learn. And so, how can you really afford to healthily feed these kids, send them to a good school? Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm really not with some of these schools out here. Some of these schools look like jails, and it's not cool. They don't have the resources that they should have to properly teach these children. And I'm not going to even say they don't, because of these schools get a lot of money. They get a whole lot of money every year. What they doing with it, I don't know. But they're not feeding these children good meals at school. They don't have the resources that they need, that they should, to teach these children. This is, some of these schools, even in my area, I've seen some schools like that. It just looks scary. I wouldn't even want to send my child over there because it doesn't look like the school that we used to seeing, coming up. And so, and you do have some schools, they're in great neighborhoods. You go to some of these great neighborhoods, they have great schools, great academics, great curriculums and great activities to put them in that's going to help stimulate their mind, advance their career after they get out of school, and just have them really thinking about what it is that I want to do with my life. That's the type of school environments that you want to place your children in. Some are free, some you have to pay for. But from a resource that I have, apparently some private schools are not even that expensive. So that's something to look into, right? But if you got, you know, 4 kids and you only making $11 an hour, can you afford to send your kids to private school? Even if it is inexpensive, you really can, especially when you're paying other bills. So it's something to think about, before you start bringing these children into a situation that you really cannot afford to do this in. And even for yourself, you know, even when you want something for yourself, it's hard for you to take care of yourself when you having these other kids. You want to be able to smell good, look good, have decent things going for yourself, and you don't have to spend the most money to have nice stuff. I am here to tell you that you don't. So when you start thinking about these children, think about how much you're taking away from yourself, because when you're having children, you're taking away from yourself. That's just true. So before you start having all these kids, think about how much am I taking away from myself? How much can I invest into these children? How much can I put to the side for them? What kind of life can I really provide them with? Is this something that I really need to do? Think about it. Take the time to think about it. Think about what else could you be doing instead of bringing this child into this world. It's so many different careers, so many different opportunities, so many places that you could travel to. So many things that you need and want. And it's just hard to have that when you're barely making it, when you don't really know what direction your own life is headed in. You don't want to bring kids into the mix, because then you start having kids growing up, they're they're causing crime because they're used to the struggle. You know, they're resenting you. I've seen children resent, their parents, and a lot of these parents, they don't understand, why their children resent them the way that they do. But see, that resentment stems from, we never really had nothing, and so it's a domino effect. A lot of people who don't really have nothing, and they're used to the bare minimum, and they really are used to the struggle, they get it from their parents and their grandparents. It's a domino effect. So then the kids are growing up, and they have this same, a lot of them still have this same mindset, and they don't really understand how to break that, because they don't realize it's really a cycle. It takes a lot to break a cycle, but you can do it. And I also want to tell you, parents or children, it's not too late. It's never too late. It's never too late to get your life together and put it in a different direction. It's never too late to start eating healthy. It's never too late to make the decision. You know what? I'm not going to have kids right now until I get in a better place in life, mentally, physically, and financially. It's not too late to make changes, for yourself, and it's not too late to encourage and guide others. And so, I just wanted to drop that piece of knowledge right there. This is definitely a topic that we're going to continue to talk about. I'm going to, tell some stories. And then once again, if you want to come share your story, or if you just want to send me a letter, and, we talk about it on the YouTube video, I can. You can be totally anonymous. Just let me know. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. All right. Talk to y'all shortly.